On August the 6th, an annual service of remembrance is held in the Peace Memorial Park in Hiroshima. It commemorates the explosion of the first nuclear bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August the 6th and 9th in 1945. The two bombs were equivalent to nearly 40,000 tons of TNT, and they killed over 100,000 people immediately, and many more died by the end of the year. Large parts of both cities were completely destroyed. To avoid any further destruction, Japan surrendered to the Allies on August the 10th, which brought an end to the war in the Pacific. In his broadcast to the American people 16 hours after the explosion over Hiroshima, President Truman spoke of the atom bomb as harnessing the basic power of the universe, the force from which the sun draws its power. But Sergeant Bob Caron, the tail gunner on the plane that dropped the bomb, described what he saw when he looked back at the explosion as a peep into hell. Philip Manson was one of the scientists who helped to develop the bomb. When he later visited Hiroshima on behalf of the United States government, he was so horrified by what he saw that he spent the rest of his life campaigning against nuclear weapons. On August the 6th, the Church commemorates the strange and mysterious event that we now call the Transfiguration of Jesus. He took his three closest disciples up a high mountain. While he was praying, the mountain was shrouded in cloud, and the disciples saw Jesus bathed in the brightness of heavenly light, talking with Moses and Elijah. From the cloud, the disciples heard a voice speaking in words from the Bible. "This is my chosen Son," said the voice. "Listen to him." They understood this as the voice of God, and it brought the vision to an end. "This is my chosen Son. Listen to him." In the run-up to the vision, Jesus had been talking with his disciples about his vocation, about how God was calling him to liberate his people who were living under Roman occupation. Jesus persistently said that he would not lead a revolt against Rome. Whatever violence his ministry generated would not come from him, and if his enemies among Israel's powerful elites chose to act against him, which appeared more and more likely, then he would resist by absorbing their violence into himself. This was how he would fulfill his vocation to deliver God's people from their enemies. On August the 6th, we ask how to harness the basic power of the universe. Do we do that with a bomb that released the forces that power the sun? Or by listening to one who wanted nothing to do with revolutionary violence? By peeping into the hell of hitherto unimaginable destruction? Or by looking to the one whose whole being was lit up by the brightness of heavenly glory? The funeral of David Trimble took place this week. He played a leading role in the Northern Ireland peace process that culminated in the signing of the Good Friday Agreement in 1998. David Trimble was a staunch Presbyterian. As First Minister in the Northern Ireland Executive in 1999, he learned to compromise with his political enemies, though, as he pointed out, not necessarily to trust them. Trust, he said, is overrated and frequently misplaced. The issue in politics is not can you trust your enemies, but can you do business with the other side? David Trimble's way of doing business was to reject the way of violence and to take the risk of building bridges to his enemies for the sake of peace. On a personal front, his willingness to compromise led him to change his mind about same-sex marriage, something he had opposed until one of his daughters, Victoria, asked him to lead her down the aisle at her wedding to her partner Rosalind, which he did with great pride. Can you do business with the other side? Among the most hope-filled sayings of Jesus is his commandment to love your enemies, words that are illuminated by his own costly, risk-taking example. They remind us that only one of these August the 6th visions offers a glimpse of the heavenly powers that bring God's whole creation to the life that it deserves.